Hey, welcome to A Cat's Life in the Philippines. This is a foreigner in the Philippines, and an update on my madness project, my quarantine madness project. I'm getting along now. Actually, this morning I started about 7, something like that, and worked very hard. But what I did today was, instead of doing the logical thing, which any sensible logical man would do, I went and I did a see and fix. So irrespective of whether something was what should be done next, I didn't do that. If I didn't feel like it, I just went ahead and I fixed those things which attracted my attention. And boy, it really worked. I got such a lot done. I painted all of this area here that you're looking at now. I fixed up, boxed in that pillar and got it painted. And then I thought, wow, what the heck, I'm going to paint that shelf. And I painted that in semi-gloss. Obviously needs another coat. Doesn't everything. But I went mad with the caulking gun, and I caulked everything so that it really does look great. And I painted whatever, if it stood still, I painted it, and that's it. Didn't get around to painting the table or the panels that go into this storage area, but all of this other stuff all got painted in semi-gloss. Semi-gloss, I'm finding now in the Philippines, semi-gloss is not what what a foreigner expects semi-gloss to be. Semi-gloss is, I reckon, what Westerners would call satin. It's a hardly shine. I don't know whether you can see there. You can see the very slight reflection there, look, of the window, light coming in from the window, and that's it. But the shine is not excessive, so which was good for me. As I say, I didn't do the table. I did the other things. I decided that I would go ahead and paint everything white. So I'll paint everything white, and then I'll introduce colour a little bit later when I've had a feel for the place. See, so all this, all caulked. I finally put that little patch in there. Didn't paint it yet. I'm going to paint it now after I finish doing this video for you. But I put my mouldings in on the top. This actually is almost hidden. Well, it's not almost hidden. It's hidden by the cushions, and especially this part here. But it still has to have the architrave on there, and this is the architrave, and I have enough to be able to do this window. I already did the window onto Beth's workplace. All of the caulking has been done there, all of the moulding had gone on, which makes a huge difference. And I got a ton of the moulding, much more than I need, and I'll find places to use it. I found places for this kind of moulding as well, which I remember using quite a bit of when I was working on the kitchen before I abandoned that to do vlogging. See, well, these other mouldings really come in. That's half round moulding on there, half round moulding on here. It really is a universal thing. It will almost go and look good anyway. You can see what I used, how I used it there. I couldn't find any more of this. This is, here they call this 3/4 or 3/4 by 3/4. couldn't get it, which was a disappointment. I would have liked to have had that for this little detail on this doorway, this exit to the kitchen and the back room. I would have liked to have had that in the 3/4 square. This turned out quite good because I didn't want to narrow this doorway any. Didn't want to have any sharp objects coming into this doorway. But that started doing the this doorway started me on painting stuff. After I painted that and it looked nice, I decided, well, what the heck, let me have a look and see how well all of this moulding has turned out here. And I did that just up to here. Tomorrow I'm expecting that I'll be able to get some of this done, but we have to go out for materials. Unfortunately, run out of little tiny things like nails. And one thing, one bit of bad news today. My drill crapped out. I got a battery operated drill, and what's happened is the chuck has stopped working. Now, in a way, that's good news, because on many drills you could buy, as an aftermarket thing, you could buy a keyless chuck. So if that's the case, I should be able to get a replacement for that, so it's not a total loss. So the only thing that I decided couldn't stay in white were the two desks, because that it just didn't make sense to me to have a desk in white. So I will be working out a colour, but it will, as I've said in the past, it will be part of the colour scheme, which will be the same. It'll be a different hue, but it won't be as light as the rest of some of the colours. I did manage to get that window done today. I'm very disappointed in this board, and I don't know what on earth I'll use those two. I think I've still got 2 sheets, or possibly 3. I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. And so I now have the other. When I went out a couple of days ago and got materials, I got 16 sheets of plywood. That I'm hoping will be enough to do the bedroom, and I'll be doing the bedroom the same as this. This is all plywood. So that's my madness project. It's coming along. I'm pleased with the day today. Amazing what you can get done in the morning. If you start early in the morning, for some strange reason, the time just disappears, and I had a total focus, just got everything done. If I looked at something and I thought, why don't I do that without any blocks, without any figuring, I just did it, and that was a big thing for me. When I got in this morning, I was pacing about wondering what to do, and I thought, I got to stop thinking and just start doing, and that's what I did. And as a result, a terrific amount to show. I got that boxed in there, that pillar. You can see a slightly red looking pillar. I didn't have time to actually paint that. I was thinking of doing some painting now, but I see I see the time is really creeping on. It looks like it's coming up for possibly 5. So may take a break. Maybe I'll watch a movie on my DVD player, which I haven't even turned on yet. Okay, well thanks for looking in, and this is my update for the remodeling of the Little Red House. This house is actually, it's tiny. It's 12 feet wide. The house is 12 feet wide, not counting the extension, but this is 12 feet wide, and I think it measures from where I'm standing right now, which is the front door. It measures 25 feet to the doorway there, to the step down. So 25 feet by 12 feet. And the way it's designed is everything on the left, a desk, the dining nook, and then built-in couch with storage up for a TV there, and there's a love seat with more storage, and that takes us up into, there's a staircase into the bedroom. Still maintaining fairly wide here. It's about 10 from here, it's about 10 feet over to the other side. And then there's a little corner unit there, but the bathroom is disgusting, and it's underneath. Obviously it's under where it begins where the staircase is ending on that next floor. Never quite know whether the first floor is called the first or the second. If you're in America, I think it's called the second floor for some reason. But in the UK we call the first floor the ground. If it's on the ground, it's called the ground floor, and then the next one up is the first floor. So on the other side, next to the bathroom and before the front door, is my workstation, which is back to back with Beck's. So there we are. She will be, I think, happy with what I do with this. I will make a special effort. I did do the trim, and Beth doesn't have a huge interest in art. She's a typical hilltop farming community island girl, and well, it is what it is, isn't it? So when she comes in, she comes in to see what's happening. Most of the time she doesn't actually take in what has been done. But anyway, it'll be nice to get some colour in some of these accents here, the trim that's going around. It'll be nice to get some accents in there, some colour. Just a little bit of colour will really lift the whole thing out of its stark white. So that's my plan. Thanks for being with me. This is A Foreigner in the Philippines. Bye bye for now.